Setting the record straight on dating apps. Everyday people telling everyday stories of the swipe right world with your host, Chaos.
Well, I know he had a good time.
He was supposedly in the baseball team and we matched, and I thought he was really attractive. What really caught me like in the motion with him was the fact that he was an athlete and the fact that he said he was 5'11". So, and he said he was like Hispanic, like Latino or something like that.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, this is great. This is like totally my type. Okay. So we match and we're talking and he seems like a great guy with a great personality, great sense of humor. Like we're pretty getting along very well. And so finally he asks me out on a date and he says, let's meet at the Denton Square. And I said, perfect. So the Denton Square, and just to give you like a background, is think of it like the downtown. So it has like all of the trendy, old school at the same time restaurants, and it's basically where we all meet. There's meetings there, and there's a tree lighting there during the holidays.
Nice.
It's the place to be when you're new, you know.
Yeah,
that's
sounds awesome.
the trending thing. Yeah. Yes. So then I said, perfect, let's meet at the square. And I didn't know he was that new in town. So I tell him, let's meet at the square. There's like this great coffee shop. And then across from it, there's like this burger joint. And so he said, oh yeah, that's perfect. Blah, 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 whatever. So I get there and I'm thinking, actually, no, I don't get there. This is like before I'm getting ready, right? It's around fall. It's cute cuddle season, right?
Oh, sure. Okay.
So I'm thinking, you know what? This is because it's Texas. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna bust out my boots. You know, I'm gonna bring out my little booties and stuff like that. And it's gonna be cute. So I was rocking these jeans. I was rocking like this shirt at the time that was cool to have half like that, and it was like wobbly. I'm trying to give a good description of what I was wearing.
No,
Hair done,
perfect.
makeup done, and the booties, listen, had a heel, and I measured it. It's a 3-inch heel. I'm 5'5".
Okay.
I thought 5 plus 3 is 8. I'm going to be 5'8". This guy is 5'10", right? So
I love where this is going.
it's going to be good. Okay. So I go to the coffee shop and I'm waiting there for a while. Red flag number 1. He comes late.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting there and I'm being optimistic about it because I really like the conversation that we had. And so the person that I am now, I would not, right?
Sure,
26-year-old me would not tolerate that. But I was 21, young and optimistic, right?
Yeah. Full of teenage optimism, sort of, and just unicorns and fairy dust. I get it. Absolutely.
Exactly. So essentially, I'm waiting there for like a while. And then finally he messages me. He's just like, hey, I'm here, whatever. He pulls up and he's walking towards the coffee shop. And, oh, God. I stand up and I'm towering over. taller. Right here. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, hi, how are you? And he's like, oh, good, how are you?
Oh my God. How tall do you think he was?
I was, okay, no, 5'4".
5'4".
He had to be like 5'4" or 5'5" because it just, I was only wearing 3 inches like of a heel.
Oh my God.
It doesn't add up. The math was not mathin' when he said he was 5'10", 5'11". It just wasn't. So then finally we get there and I'm walking next to him and we're talking. It's a little bit of an awkward conversation, you know, typical, whatever. Mm-hmm. We get to the restaurant, we sit down, and honestly, the conversation was great. One thing I do remember about him was that he said his favorite hobby, because we were talking about that, small talk, what are your favorite hobbies? One of his favorite hobbies was to, on purpose, make situations awkward. And then I said, well, how do you do that? And then he taught me how to do it. Okay. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to be honest with you. That part was fun. I do remember that of him.
Okay.
So he said that in order for you to make a conversation awkward, you have to stay quiet and you have to do like this thing with your mouth. So for example, if you make a comment and you say, for example, oh, you look great today. And then I'll go. That's what he said he likes to do on purpose.
Okay. Okay,
So
different type of hobby. Okay, I get it.
it's unique. It's unique. So then, whatever, we're having a great time. And I remember going to the restroom, excusing myself to go to the restroom. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I don't know, man. He's kind of weird, but he's really fun. He has a unique personality. So I'm like, okay, let's just give it a go. We don't ditch in the middle of the date. Like,
Yeah.
we'll,
Irish
you know,
goodbye.
go for
Yeah.
it. So then essentially I come back and whatever, we have a great rest of the night. We order, we eat. It's a fun night. And then he wants to continue with the date. And I'm like, dinner's over, you know, I'm kind of done. But he said, no, let's explore. I want to see more of the city. I'm new. Red flag number, like what, 7 at this
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, you're at checkered flags now, I think. Yeah.
He wants me to give him a tour of the city. So I'm just like, whatever, let's go ahead and do it. So we go, we walk around, and I take him to this place called Fry Street. Fry Street is located in front of the college, the University of North Texas. And this it's like an old antique, you know, use the bartenders, they have like this hipster beard with like the mustache, they're wearing beanies, flannel stuff, you know, very casual, very hipster look. Oh, kind of like the thing you have going on right now.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know,
all right, cool. Very hipster.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hipster thing.
Uh-huh.
So we go and we have a good time. We don't drink because I told him I'm not going to do that on the first date. He said, okay, I respect that, whatever.
Sure.
He said, let me walk you to your car. And I said, okay, perfect. So then I go and then I see a big fat ticket on my car.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, was it worth it? And then at that point, I was like, no, it really wasn't. This guy was not worth getting a ticket for. Turns out that they have really strict like parking, like anything will get you a ticket, literally.
Sure.
So my wheel was just a little bit off on like the white line thing. And it said it on the ticket too. You're like off parking, like you were off the meter thing. And I'm like,
no way.
Whatever. He sees the ticket and then he's like, oh, damn, that sucks. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm so done. Whatever. And then he has the nerve to ask me, can you give me a ride to my car?
Oh, shit.
And based on the patterns that you see here, you can already know my answer was going to be, surprisingly, yes, I'm going to give you a ride back to your car because I'm still going to be nice. Again, I was 21 and
full of optimism.
Yeah. So we go and I drive him to his car. I'm already upset. You can tell that I'm upset. I'm not having it with this guy. And so then I finally get there. I get to his car, leave him there, and then he won't get off my car. He won't. He's still like trying to make jokes and ha-has and he-he's and he's just like joking about it. And I'm in the steering wheel pissed. And then he's like, so this was a great date, huh? And then he does like that awkward thing to try to liven up the mood. I was so mad. And I genuinely feel bad for what I'm about to tell you. But I was really upset about this whole thing of how it went that I looked at him and I was like, dude, just get out of my car. like literally.
Good for you, though. Good for you. That's what you're supposed to do. He's not getting the hint. And he's trying to make out, and you're like, I'm not having it, bro.
Bad. So I get out of my car, and so then he was like, he literally his mouth chopped like to his chest, right? He was like, and he gets up and he like slams the door of my car and leaves. Oh man! Just to like wrap up this fantastic story, a year later. I go to that restaurant, and guess who I see?
No way. He's there.
On the date.
Oh,
he recognizes me. I completely forgot that he like existed and that we had a horrible date. But I went with my girlfriend, and we were just having a great time, and we were just having drinks. You know, she's my roommate, she's my bestie, whatever. I think we were celebrating her birthday, and so we go to the restaurant. I'm sitting like this, and he's sitting at your perspective, looking this way. Okay. In the same table we were sitting. I'm not even playing. Not even playing.
Oh, you're thinking, is this poor girl? Oh my gosh.
Literally what I thought. So I see him, and he sees me, and we lock eyes. And I go, look at my friend, I can't. And he got up so fast. He quit that date quick. He got up, and then I was like, oh.
You made two moments extremely awkward for him, getting out of the car and his date. So I think you wanted the game that he taught you.
Think so? Oh man.
I think so. Because you weren't awkward about any stretch. He was the one that was like, oh my gosh. Have you like the height thing though, the 5'11" to 5'4"? Like I've heard that more often than I'd like to admit. That's crazy though. Have you run into that more often?
No, because afterwards I cut it with the dating apps.
Oh, good
And
too.
then I was like, I don't think I'm interested right now. I think I just want to focus on my career.
Yeah.
And if I see the guy organically and I can do this and look up at the heights, then like, okay, this will work.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So are you done with the like? So since then, well, are you in a relationship now? I guess. Have you met somebody? We call it in the wild.
no, I mean, right now I am single, and
Okay.
I did meet someone in the wild. We lasted for about a year,
Nice.
and then you start to really get to know the person after a year,
Yeah.
and we just had different perspectives, and
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure. Things don't work out, man. That's crazy. Did that gun shy you? Like, were you done? Like, I think you said it. If you did, I apologize. Were you pretty much like, all right, I'm off the apps after crap like this?
I tolerated 2 more dates with like other men, and then I was like, now I'm finished.
Were they not as bad, obviously, but were they good? Was there a good and a bad in the other ones, or were they both just like, man, I just can't do this?
One of them was a frat guy. I remember that. So there was a lot of, yeah, man, if you want to come back to the house. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Sweeping you off your feet.
Very romantic, right?
Yeah.
Back to his house with the rest of the guys. There was that one, and then I remember. I think the last date that really scared me, it was with this guy I matched with. He had he was the complete opposite of an athlete. He was kind of like a smart geek, and I thought it was. I just thought. So I go on this date, and it turns out he's like really intense, and he has like this really deep voice, and we just don't have the chemistry. We didn't.
Okay.
So I said, you know what, respectfully, like this is just the last one, right?
Yeah.
He messages me the following. We went for coffee. No worries. Okay. We went for a small coffee, nothing crazy. And then he messages me the day after. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't owe him an explanation. I'm just going to ghost him. Sure. So I do. Yeah. He messages me again. And I'm like, okay, he doesn't get the hint. So I'm like, you know what? Still ghosting, whatever. He puts me on blast. I'm talking. Women like you, I don't know who you think you are. You think that you're so good for everybody, but you're not. Just like going off. And I'm like, we went for coffee. Why are you getting so worked up about this? Whatever. Yeah. So I think maybe I hit a nerve, especially with like not responding. Yeah. There, I was like, that right there was like, this is borderline creepy. And this is borderline like, I don't know what your problem is, but I didn't feel safe. So I was like,
swipe wrong. Swipe wrong.